Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I request all our esteemed guests to please come up on the dais. Our teachers, please get the guests on the dais, please. We are about to begin with our inaugural program. I welcome our chief guest for the inaugural function, Dr. Rajan Saxena. Dr. Mogies, the convener of the conference, is invited on the stage. Welcome all of you to the first two-day multidisciplinary international conference organized by Maharashtra College of Arts, Science and Commerce, courtesy Department of Information Technology and Computer Science. We are extremely privileged to have among us esteemed personalities for the inaugural function. Our President, KIHE Society, Padma Shri Madam Fatima Zakaria, our Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Rajan Saxena, Vice Chancellor, NMIMS, our keynote speaker, Mr. Sandesh Naik, Director, Sales Consulting, Oracle India Private Limited, Honorable Consul Generals of Bahrain and Iran, distinguished guests, members of the management, invitees, representatives from the media, staff members, and my dear students. We shall begin the program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. I request Professor Mujahid Khan to please come up on the stage.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفد البحر قبل أن تنفد كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا صدق الله العظيم. I seek Allah's protection from Satan, the outcast. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, they will have the gardens of paradise for hospitality, wherein they will live forever. They will not desire any transfer from it. Say, if the sea were ink for writing the words of my Lord, the sea would be exhausted before the words of my Lord were exhausted, even if we brought the like of it as a supplement. Say, I am only a man like you, to whom has been revealed that your God is one God. So, whoever would hope for the meeting with his Lord, let him do righteous work and not associate in the worship of his Lord anyone. Sadaqallahul Azim.
I would like to invite Ms. Nehmat Salim Dawre, our international participant from Western Sydney University, Australia, to please come up on the stage. I also invite the Editor-in-Chief of the conference proceeding, Professor Arab Abdul Aziz, to please come up on the stage. Maharashtra College has been fortunate to have a dynamic and down-to-earth principal a source of inspiration and a guiding force behind all such events. He inspires us to take Maharashtra College to newer heights. He motivates the staff to realize the potential through positive reinforcement. I request our principal, Dr. Sirajuddin Chogle, to welcome the gathering.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Padma Shri, Madam Fatima Zakaria, President, Khairul Islam Higher Education Society, who is presiding over the conference. Honorable Dr. Rajan Saxena, the Vice Chancellor, Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies, deemed to be university, the chief guest of this international conference. Mr. Sandesh Naik, the keynote speaker for the conference, all the distinguished guests of honors on the dais, in which we have today Honorable Consul General from Bahrain over here with us. We also have Honorable Consul General from Iran with us over here, along with all the management members and dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. The invitees we have in the hall, the media representatives, the staff members, both teaching and non-teaching, the members of the organizing committee of the conference, and the students who have been the backbone of this conference. A warm good afternoon and welcome to Maharashtra College for its first multidisciplinary international conference organized by the Department of IT and CS International Conference. On this occasion, it is an exclusive occasion and a proud privilege for the principal of Maharashtra College to host the first international conference as the college enters the Golden Jubilee years. This conference on the theme of Internet of Things, World Scenario, is truly international in nature. Apart from the support from the University of Mumbai, Department of Information Technology, Computer Science and Commerce, the conference has been well supported by almost all the principals of various colleges in Mumbai and Konkan region, affiliated to the University of Mumbai. We have been able to get support from 3 foreign universities by their representation, namely Taiba University, Medina, Saudi Arabia, University Malaysia, Pahang, Malaysia, and Western Sydney University, Australia. Similarly, support has come from industry participations from San Francisco, USA, Muscat, Oman, Jubail Ali, Saudi Arabia, and Dubai, UAE. I am happy to announce that the online conference is already live. It has been live telecast on the YouTube at present. So people can already see this conference on YouTube live. It has been supported by the Saudico Electric System, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and this event has been sponsored by Doha Grand Hotel, Doha, Qatar. So truly, as I said, it is international in nature. Under the able presidency of Dr. Rafiq Zakaria and the efforts of past principals, this quadrangle hall in which you all are sitting has been a witness to innumerable events and host to national and international dignitaries over the past 49 years. But today is very special occasion where we are inaugurating the first international conference just after 3 months of successfully hosting the first national conference in Maharashtra College. Though the college has taken a gradual leap to start, nevertheless, this is the beginning for the young, dynamic and enthusiastic staff of the college who are raring to go. This conference is all about giving wings to their dreams. I hope that from here onwards, Maharashtra College and its staff members will take it to a greater height. This college, which has almost 70% girl students and catering to the vicinity of socially and economically marginalized population of South Mumbai has been able to bring higher education to the doorstep, which was the vision of the founders of this particular institution, Maharashtra College. It has been instrumental to bring about change among them, and we witness that today the third generation learners are at the advantage. This shall be the outgoing process to realize the visions of the founders and go beyond. On behalf of the organizing committee of the conference, I welcome one and all to this eventful afternoon, hoping that it shall be a fruitful academic exercise in the process for one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. I would now request the principal to felicitate our guests. I request our principal to firstly felicitate the president of KIHE Society, Madam Padma Shri Fatima Zakaria. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being present with us here today. I would now request our president to felicitate the chief guest, Dr. Rajan Saxena, who has accepted our invitation and is obliged to be present at the inaugural function. We are very thankful to you, sir. A memento is also being presented to our chief guest at the hands of our president. Thank you again, sir. I request our principal to felicitate the keynote speaker, Mr. Sandesh Nayak. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us today. I would request our principal to welcome the Consul General of Bahrain, His Excellency Isa Ibrahim Ali Al Thawri. Thank you very much, sir, for coming here today. Please accept our token of appreciation. I would also request the principal to felicitate the Consul General of Iran, His Excellency Mr. Masood Ibrahimi Khalegi. So welcome to our college and thank you very much. A token of appreciation on behalf of Maharashtra College. I request the principal to felicitate Professor Afzal Khan, who is the former HOD Department of English, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad, former BCUD Director of the same university, former Joint Director, Aurangabad Division, and currently Director, Dr. Rafiq Zakaria Center for Higher Learning and Advanced Research. We welcome you, sir. I also request our principal to felicitate Dr. Patankar, the Vice President of KIHE Society. Our international participant, Ms. Naima Dave, Madam Fatima Zakaria would present a bouquet of flowers to her. Thank you for coming here. We would also welcome our former principal, Professor Kokshiwala, for coming here to today's function. A warm welcome to former principal, Dr. M.A. Waheed. Sir, we appreciate your presence amongst us. Members of management, Professor Kalania, thank you, sir, for your encouragement and your support. A bouquet of flowers to Professor Munawar Ali, Academic Advisor, KIHE Society. Thank you, sir, for your encouragement and your guidance. Welcome to Mr. Ahmad Khan, Treasurer, KIHE Society. A very supportive management that is guiding our college in all aspects. Thank you, Principal Dr. Sirajuddin Chogle, and thank you everyone on the dais. I request our President, Madam Fatima Zakaria, to give a bouquet to Professor Dr. Sirajuddin Chogle for being a constant source of support. Excuse me. Mr. Hassan Chogle, who's our Doha Qatar sponsoring partner, Grand Hotel Doha, he has sent a message. I would like to read out this message. Maharashtra College has been an institution of repute and reckoning for the innumerable students who have benefited by it. On this occasion of its first international conference, I take this opportunity to wish the management, principal, staff members and the students along with the organizing committee a grand success. I regret to miss this historic moment because of my prior commitments. Coming to the theme of the conference, Internet of Things. Direct integration of the physical world into computer-based systems has resulted in improved efficiency, accuracy and economic benefit in addition to reduced human intervention. Such opportunities have been created by the Internet of Things, a vibrant concept that has transformed daily lives. I request Professor Saima Sheikh, Head Department of Information Technology and the coordinator of today's conference to present the concept note of the conference.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Padma Shri Fatma Zakaria, President KIHE Society. Honorable Dr. Rajan Saxena, Vice Chancellor, NMIMS, deemed to be University, our chief guest for the event. Mr. Sandesh Nayak, keynote speaker. All the distinguished guests of honors, Council General of Bahrain and Council General of Iran, our most valued invited guests, members of the management, respected principal, vice principal, supervisor of junior college, members of the organizing committee, my dear teachers and students. Good afternoon. On behalf of Maharashtra College and my own behalf, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to our first two-day multidisciplinary international conference on Internet of Things. I would like to express my warmest welcome to all the participants who have come all the way to be a part of this conference. This conference adopts a timely theme, that is Internet of Things. It has become a hot topic lately, but it is a very difficult concept for many people to wrap their mind around. What is Internet of Things? This is the question that comes in our mind often. It is actually a concept of network devices like phones, wristbands with sensing capabilities to collect data from the world around us and show the data across the internet where it can be processed and utilized for various purposes. Internet of Things was the first term coined by Kevin Ashton back in 1999. At that time, he was thinking about the future, and many still do. But one thing is for sure, IoT is here today and is influencing our life every day. Thinking about our daily life right now and the interaction we have with the devices like our mobile phone, our TV, our refrigerator, doorbell, AC, all these things connects us to the internet, and that is what is IoT. Some examples that can be stated here to understand the concept better are LTE and GPS enabled cars, which helps the driver and the passenger to get the real-time traffic information, the route to the destination where it has to go. For example, everybody must have at least used the Ola and the Uber app. The second most wonderful example is the smart bands and wristbands that have come in the market, which records all kind of personalized data from the body of the person. It can track the calories burned, the heart rate, the blood pressure. IoT is helping business optimize in day-to-day life. Many stores are already using signals from shoppers' smartphone to track and send them accordingly promotional materials to increase their sales. Then there is something called a smart home, which sounded like a dream sometimes back, but now is the truth of the day, wherein the security system in your house will allow you to monitor your house from anywhere. The list of the examples will be an endless one. Through all these real-life implementations and examples, I would like to conclude by saying that IoT has changed the way of living and will change every aspect of our lives because of its direct impact. I would like to thank each and everyone seated here. Thank you so much for coming and for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Saima, for simplifying the concept for us. We are fortunate to have amongst our midst a well-known and able academician and administrator, our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Rajan Saxena, Vice Chancellor, NMIMS, deemed to be university. He has been the Vice Chancellor since 2009 and was recently reappointed at the position for a consecutive second term. Dr. Saxena, who set up the IIM Indore as its first director, took over as the VC of NMIMS in 2009. Under his leadership, NMIMS improved its tie-ups with reputed foreign universities and was also invited by GMAC to be its member. Dr. Saxena was instrumental in establishing School of Economics and School of Law and other NMIMS campuses at Bengaluru and Hyderabad. Dr. Saxena also contributed to make NMIMS degrees more contemporary and industry relevant. During his previous tenure as VC, he was instrumental in transforming students' experience by focusing on holistic development of graduates through both classroom and non-classroom processes, including field projects and soft skills. He focused on enhancing quality of programs and their delivery. Faculty development assumed high significance in his leadership, making admission process transparent by introducing computer-based tests which were psychometrically validated, helped train the quality and profile of the incoming student batches across all schools and programs, especially at the School of Business Management. Dr. Saxena ensured significant improvement in competitive position of each school of NMIMS. On his reappointment, Dr. Saxena shared his vision for next tenure and said, "Completing the unfinished agenda of last strategic plan would be top on my priority list. It includes research output enhancement, internationalization of students and faculty community, and getting global accreditations." He also shared his plans to introduce new schools for entrepreneurship, public policy and social change, media and mass communication, liberal arts and leadership and faculty management. I invite Dr. Saxena for the inaugural speech.
Honorable President Fatima Ji, the Council Generals of Bahrain and Iran, Principal Chogle, Mr. Santosh Naik, members of the Management Committee of the Maharashtra College of Arts, Science and Commerce, ladies and gentlemen, and students. Well, let me take this opportunity of congratulating the college for organizing the International Conference on Internet of Things. One of the disruptive technologies that we see today as changing the world order itself. And therefore, when a couple of weeks back, Principal Chogle had approached me, I was just wondering that whether I'm really the right person, because I'm not a technology man. The technology man is sitting over here, who's going to be talking to you all, right? So possibly he's a better person, Professor Chogle, than me. I'm a very lay person in this whole exercise. So I told him that I'm going to be speaking from my own understanding only, and more from a youth perspective, more as a management scholar, and more as somebody who sees the change as happening around us. And therefore, if I say something and you think that it is fundamentally wrong, please do excuse me. Just put it to my ignorance and blame Principal Chogle for inviting such an ignorant person as a chief guest. So let me once again congratulate you, sir, for organizing this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, we see our world getting disrupted today. And this disruption, which at one stage was far and wide, it was not really so frequent and was not so rapid. Today we see it in all its facets being not only frequent, but the speed at which this change is taking place, the rapidity at which the technology and the change which is occurring today makes all of us feel aghast at times. We are taken aghast by some development or the other. Even before we have been able to get acclimatized to a particular change, something else comes up, something else pops up. For example, by the time we were all getting used to the smartphones, you find that, well, along came the wearable technology. So today we are talking about a whole lot of wearable technologies, the smart bands, the artificial intelligence coming in through the virtual reality of the kind of things that we see today, which is going to be changing the way we are going to be relating to the world itself and the way we are going to be engaging with the world. In fact, some time back, McKinsey came up with a very interesting report on disruptive technologies, the technologies that are changing the world and the technologies which have the impact or which have the potential to change the world in a manner which is unthinkable. And some of those kinds of technologies that they talk about were in the areas of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, social networks, mobile internet, and robots. In a way, if you look at it, much of this change is really led by technology, which is led by the digital world. Today, the fourth revolution which is today occurring is really the way it is not only going to change the world, it is not only going to change the way we are all living, but it will also change the way we look at the future ahead of us. Much the same way as the first industrial revolution did, or the second industrial revolution did. The first industrial revolution which gave us the steam engine, the second industrial revolution that gave us the electricity, and the third industrial revolution that gave us a whole lot of a computing power, and the fourth that we are talking about, the digital revolution. So this whole digital revolution today is changing the way we look at the world, the way we relate to the world, the way we communicate to the world, and therefore the way we establish these kinds of relationships. It is in this context that today we realize, today we see objects connecting to another object, products connecting to another products, speaking to another product. So in a way, things that look to be static, the communication that looked to be static today has become dynamic. And when it has become dynamic, naturally from that kind of a perspective, the question that would invariably come back to all of us in whether it is managing business or it is managing an education system. How do we manage our own operations, and what is it that we need to be doing in such a kind of a dynamic environment, from a static to a dynamic? The Internet of Things, as we just mentioned, has the biggest economic impact, and it has been observed that the maximum economic impact is going to be felt in the developed countries, where almost 70% of the impact is really being felt today, already. Today, it is not very uncommon for a customer in America, for example, to be able to, his own kind of a computer, send out a message from his or her computer, or from a laptop, or from an iPad, or from a smartphone, to the refrigerator, or to the microwave oven, to heat up the food, or to start up the air conditioner if the message is going to the air conditioning system, or let us say for the refrigerator to really start cooling a little bit extra for some of the products that the customer would have really kept it in the refrigerator. So this whole communication that we are talking about today has already started happening in the developed countries, the product-to-product speaking. In the context of healthcare, we see this really happening around in a very big way. And companies like General Electric came up with something called as a portable ECG machine. The portable ECG machine, which speaks, not only enables the doctor, or let us say a paramedic, to perform the heart, or let's say to study the heart at a given point of time, but also simultaneously transmit the entire ECG to the doctor sitting somewhere else and an expert sitting yet at another place. And therefore the kind of a immediate kind of a the kind of a resolution of a problem which a patient would face is something that is today available. It's a reality today. Friends, if we look at our own country, and this is something which is important for us from an emerging markets economy, one of the biggest question that we have is, what is going to be the price of such a product? Will I be able to pay such a price? Can I really afford it? And therefore, from that kind of a point of view, what has today become important is what is a term that has come up in affordable innovations. The affordable innovations today, which are very commonly visible in emerging markets and also in the developed economies, which have a similar kind of which have some segments of the market which show the same characteristic as that which is visible in the emerging markets, you find that, well, the objective of such an affordable innovation is primarily to reduce the cost of the product, to reduce the cost of the solution to the customer, and not only reduce the cost to the customer or the service, but also make it more convenient for him or her to use, and make it possible for the customer to use it in a multiple use situation. I'm told today, and not only I'm told, but I see it happening, that the digitization of components and equipment, sensor-embedded technologies, connecting the product or object through mobile, internet or wireless, to other objects of the world or with customer environment today are the fulcrums of such innovations. I mentioned to you about the GE as an example. So it is in such situations that, as I said, a question that we need to ask: can the business models remain the same? Can the way the societies run just remain the same? How would it affect the policy making of any country? How would it affect education? What is it that we need to be doing back in our own institutions? And before I move towards some of these areas, let me also mention that today, because of all this technology that is available today, it is far easier for each one of us to understand our customers in a better manner. We are able to track the customer's buying preferences in the real time at a specific location. And we are also able to know how intensively and the product is being used. And this can then afford us a kind of an alternative or a solution on what is it that we should price our product or how we should be pricing our product. So therefore, from that kind of a perspective, a question that would invariably, and the question that firms often face today is, should I continue to sell the product at a fixed price, or should I resort to a usage-based pricing? You take a look at the Geo, which each one of us, some of us might be using it. Reliance offered the Geo, right? And it has now come up with it is now announced that from next month onwards it is going to be charging you all. What would be the basis of such a charge? You look at your smartphone pricing. Smartphone airtime pricing is not based on a fixed price concept. It is based on the usage model itself. So how much you use, the more you use, lower is the price. The lesser you use, higher is the kind of a price. So look at it from all this kind of a perspective, and you realize that the pricing today has a very interesting kind of a dynamics, and therefore the competitive advantage therefore shifts in favor of companies who today understand the big data. Internet of Things presents a huge or presents a large mass of data, and it is imperative for the companies, it is imperative for the individuals to be able to understand this data and then take appropriate decisions. I started by saying that we are living in a world which is disrupted frequently by the forces of science and technology. But at the same time, we are also seeing that this world is getting disrupted by the global demographic shifts, changing political structures and leaderships, and the growing social unrest. Absence of employment opportunities and the legal means of political expressions often lead to the growth of radicalism. The technology today that we have is one that can help us, on the one hand, elevate a large masses of people. At the same time, if not done, then in that case it also becomes a tool in the hands of terrorists. Whether we talk about the autonomous vehicles or the drones or the social networks, these are all something that can be used today for the purposes of bringing in a much more inclusive growth, only if we are able to connect almost every level of our governance structures, and we are able to create policies which really touch the last person. If not done, we run into a difficulty. Hence, a change today has both a positive and a negative effect, coexisting and influencing the future of societies and organizations. There's one more aspect before I really sit down or otherwise lest you come to know of my ignorance on the subject. Today, this fourth revolution that we are talking about is, as I said, is changing the way we communicate. It is changing the way the organizations relate themselves to the customer. So the whole customer engagement models have changed. In fact, it is such a kind of a change, this change today, and the digital change that we are talking about today, and the pervasiveness of this change today has created a word called techonomy, because the economies have become more and more technology driven. Organizations have become more and more technology driven. So the techonomy is a word that comes up. In such a kind of a context, the question that comes up, that those who are graduating today, what are the skills that are going to be required by the employers when they really come to you? Much of the education that we have today in our own country doesn't really touch some of those skills that modern organizations are requiring. And what are those kinds of skills that are required? Skills of creativity, judgment and decision making, cognitive flexibility, complex problem resolution, coordinating with others, and negotiation. These are some of the skills that the World Economic Forum identified as the skills that will be required in the potential workforce in the digital organizations or in a tech economy that we are talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I also believe that this is a moment when learning has to be continuous. The organizations will continue to learn, relearn, and reinvent. It is in this context, therefore, we need to accept the fact that for life, we have to be a learner. We cannot remain static. We cannot remain where we are, and least of all in the times that we are going to be living in. The times that are ahead of each one of us are going to be far more challenging and at the same time far more interesting. It's a time when you can innovate. It's a time when the capital is not so much important in as much as an idea is important. And if you have an idea, a winning idea, if you have a passion to pursue that idea, believe me, the capital just flows to you. It is that power, it is this kind of a feature that really characterizes this economy. And therefore, the digital economy today has really opened up new vistas, new opportunities for each one of us. Let me once again wish you all the best, and I do hope that the 2 days that you're going to be spending in this conference would be a great learning opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the useful information that you have given us. You have dealt the topic in a very unique way. Thank you very much, sir. The organizing committee of the international conference is glad to announce that the printing of the conference proceedings has been completed and it is ready to be released. I would like to inform that we have received around 60 articles from different countries of the world, including Malaysia, Medina, Jebel Ali, Sydney, Dubai, and Qatar. I request our chief guest, along with our president and the other dignitaries in the dais, to kindly release the proceedings. Avinash. पीछे पीछे Thank you everyone. Thank you very much. Now is the time to invite our keynote speaker, Mr. Sandesh Nayak, Director, Sales Consulting Technology, Oracle India Private Limited. They develop a comprehensive understanding of the customer's business challenges and appropriately map Oracle technology features and associated business benefits to address their needs. Mr. Sandesh has more than 20 years IT experience with his core expertise being Oracle database and data management technologies. Mr. Sandesh is a hands-on leader with a very good mix of technology and business appreciation. Mr. Sandesh has expertise in developing successful growth strategies, training individuals and team leaders on product benefits and customer service techniques. He is also known for creating dynamic sales strategies that engage consumers and take away business from competition. Solid track record of leading technical and business professional to executing projects with budgets from business requirements to production implementation and accomplish customer satisfaction in various industries such as telecommunications, finance, automotive, distribution, banking, insurance, education, and telemarketing. His specialities include leadership, strategic value-based selling and business development, IT strategy, offsourcing and offshore service delivery, project management for strategy, process outsourcing or development projects, excellent oratory skills. Mr. Sandesh has a Master of Science in Physics and Electronics Communication from Mumbai University and is an Oracle certified professional besides holding several leading industrial certifications. I invite Mr. Sandesh Nayak for the keynote address.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to first, I'm privileged today to be here with so many honorable, dignitaries here on the stage. And like Dr. Rajan Saxena said, and he put me on a spot saying I'm a technology man here and he's going to talk about all the technologies. And Professor Saima pretty much took away all I'm going to talk about Internet of Things. So I was thinking while sitting there as to what to talk about. But let me first thanks everybody at your college, management of Maharashtra College, Honorable Padma Shri Fatmaji. We have Consul General from Bahrain and obviously Principal Chowgule. Normally I don't do this. I talk to C-level executives, the CIOs, the CTOs. We do business presentations. So when Professor Saima called me, I said, do I need to carry my presentation? Because I'm used to the presentations. I just walk around the stage and talk about technology and try to convince our customer why our technologies is better. So when this topic came out, I was wondering how to go about this because, like Professor Saima said, it is simple, Internet of Things, but it is complicated as well. And then I was thinking, oh, that makes my job really difficult. Now to explain this intelligent students here as to what Internet of Things is, with this getting live telecast on YouTube, somehow, I don't know how many people are going to see it, but it's now online, it's on Internet. So the journey when it started on Internet, right, it was just one computer connecting to the another computer. And that was the beginning of Internet of Things, as many people don't know. Because that was machine-to-machine connections, which got you from a LAN to a WAN environment. When I talk about computers connecting to computers, now we got devices connecting to devices. How does it change your life? I mean, it does change your life, doesn't it? Like Professor Sena said, and Professor Saima also said, right? everybody is using wearable technologies. Everybody is using, some or other gadget which is connecting them to the world. Once you are connected to the world, it is everywhere. You can't take it back. That brings a concern when we talk about Internet of Things. And why do they call Internet of Things, right? This term came out in 1985, if I'm not wrong, by Professor Peters. And when they were talking about it, they were talking about, well, when the Internet came out, it was a US defense project, right? It got converted into World Wide Web. That's why you call WWW. And then when that connections were getting into our day-to-day life, that is where people said, well, internet was there. If I'm connecting any device, it should be anything. So it should have been Internet of anything. And people didn't like the name. They said, oh, what do you mean by anything? It has to be a thing. And that's why it's called Internet of Things. It is as simple as that. So don't get confused with the technology, how it works. Obviously, there are a lot of experts who are going to talk to you tomorrow about how actually the process automation helps, how the wearable technology helps patients or medical experts. And it is everywhere. If you look at it, the Internet of Things are everywhere. Connected cars, the project which General Motors started in 1995, was all about getting a special experience to a consumer. He is driving a car, they came with a OnStar navigation system. I don't know how many of you heard about it. But OnStar, when it came on in 1995, GM was the star. Their cars had these OnStar navigation systems. They saved a lot of lives. USA, it snows a lot. So you get buried in the snow, that OnStar navigation system actually saved people's lives. And that's what it's the change which is bringing out in overall technology front, as we call it. And everybody is there, right? Our company is there, IBMs of the world are there. Everybody is doing some or other works in this technology. And why everybody is working on the technology? Because it was earlier a consumer-driven technology. When Apple iPhone came out, the mobility, easy use of Reliance Jio, like Dr. Saxena mentioned, right? Everybody is now on the data. Once you start getting data from so many connected devices, obviously who is going to crunch that data? What do you do about that data? And like Dr. Saxena said, the big data term. When you crunch that much data, you need a lot of computing power. You need a lot of, analytics engines running to make sense out of that data. You remember the old government offices, right? They have huge pile of files sitting there. You go and ask for a record, they'll say, come back after a month. Now, you ask for a record, you get it like in 15 minutes. How many voted yesterday? Everybody? Right? You can online check where your center is. I know there was some miscommunication as well, but now look at the technology which has changed. You get an app on a phone where you can put your name and find out where your constituency is, where you're going to vote, how you're going to vote. This is all technology disruptions. And the technology disruption has to be for our own good, for the people. The technology is driven by the people, for the people. And the messaging is very clear. Before somebody comes there and says me time out, I'm going to cut it short. But believe me, when we talk about Internet of Things, it is nothing new. It's like when people were connecting to the people, now devices are connecting to the devices. And it is everywhere. And the technology disruption is so fast that I am talking today, there are already 2 new things popped up. Okay, 10 billion devices connected worldwide right now in Internet of Things. 10 billion. The estimate by Gartner is 30 billion devices connected by year 2020. And by 2025, 85% of the population will use Internet of Things this way or that way. They are obviously getting connected. Your mobile is connected, you are into Internet of Things. You are logging onto Internet Explorer or any of the computers to go onto the web, you are connected. Your information is connected. The Facebooks, the WhatsApps, it is all connected information. What do you do about that data is the real key. So when we talk corporates, we say, can I do a process automation for building a car? How do I do about it, right? The process automation, when I have to build a car, with Internet of Things, it can change. The process automation in medical technologies will definitely change how I treat a patient. All those technologies, whether it's home automation like Dr. Saxena said, right? Imagine things like refrigerator telling you the milk is not there, the milk is over. Yeah, believe me, there's already one LG refrigerator in the market which can tell you what is in your refrigerator. Okay, the connected cars will tell you how your engine efficiency is. A connected car can tell you where the tire pressure is. Connected car can tell you how to navigate. That's one of the simple things, right? It can tell you exactly how much fuel is left in your car. You don't have to look at that E and try to go to the gas station or petrol pump. So I'm saying don't get scared because of the technology when I was sitting there, I was thinking whether I should do a serious talk on technology or should I just encourage you guys or bring that curiosity out of you for next 2 days to learn more. Because once you start thinking, and when she was reading my resume, and I'm really apologize for sending you my resume as an introduction, it's 23 years plus into technology. When I started off, I didn't even know how to turn on a computer's power button. That's the story in MSc Part 1 in Mumbai University. As an IBM machine, in my sir, Professor Joshi was telling me, boss, the power button is on the back. It's not on the front. Now every day it's on the front. And look at me now. I'm talking in front of all you young, intelligent people about technology. So believe me, it's not difficult. If I can do it, anyone else can do it. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak here. I thank really Professor Chaudhary and Professor Saima for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much. Have fun.
Thank you, sir, for simplifying technology so much for us. We are happy to have with us the President of KIHG Society, Honorable Padma Shri Fatima Zakaria, here with us today. Madam Fatima Zakaria, as we all know, is the President of Maharashtra College of Arts, Science and Commerce. She is also the Chairperson of Maulana Azad Educational Trust in Aurangabad, which offers quality education and training to the less privileged with a focus on empowering women and minorities. She is Executive Vice President of the Board of Governors of the Trust Institute of Hotel Management. She is the Chairperson of All India Iraqi Committee, which operates College of Education. Mrs. Zakaria's career has spanned diverse fields, including journalism, social work, publications, and education. In 1958, she established an institution of childcare and training for underprivileged women, offering healthcare, education, and free meals. Mrs. Zakaria joined the Times of India in 1970, later becoming Senior Assistant Editor, covering political and cultural affairs. She interviewed leading public figures, including Indira Gandhi, the late Prime Minister of India, Margaret Thatcher, former British Prime Minister. In 1983, she was awarded the Sarojini Naidu Integration Award for Journalism. She has played a prominent role in education and served as a member of the Bombay University Senate for 3 years. In 2006, Madam Zakaria was awarded the prestigious Padma Shri by the President of India for her work in education. Madam Zakaria continues the philanthropy tradition of her late husband, Dr. Rafiq Zakaria, a prominent educator and prolific writer on Indian politics and society who served as a cabinet minister. I invite Madam Zakaria to speak a few words.
Young girls, ladies and gentlemen, I am nothing at all before all of you. I have heard you for the last 1 hour and I am totally breathtaking because all of these girls speak so much on so many things I'm very, very impressed. And not only the girls, I'm also talking of the men, but we are always speaking of girls first. So I just want to say congratulations to all of you. Thank you. I have a short speech for you. It gives me immense pleasure to be in your midst this afternoon. To my late husband, Dr. Rafiq Zakaria, and to me, Maharashtra College has been a priority institution. Together we have strived very hard to create on these premises a culture of excellence and quality. I am very happy to see that now the college is on a firm footing. Our principal, Mr. Siraj Chogale, is a hard-working individual who leaves no details of planning to chance. An enterprising team of senior colleagues such as Mr. Patadkar, Professor Kalania, Mr. Ahmed Khan, Mr. Munawwar Ali, and the great Mr. Dr. Afzal Khan, and the senior faculty have shown over the years their dedication and devotion to the cause of education. I am very happy that Maharashtra College has served the community over the decades. Apart from offering undergraduate programs, the college has recently instituted Dr. Rafiq Zakaria Center for Postgraduate Studies. I must congratulate my senior colleagues for a noble venture, particularly Professor Saima Sheikh and her team. I personally believe that educational institutions must expand their operations in such a manner that these institutions are recognized as centers of training and development. Our mission is to generate highly qualified human resources who shall ultimately serve this great nation. Academic events of this kind, I believe, are most essential in creating such an ethos. Today we have all come together to open the first international conference on this campus. Members of the advisory and the organizing committees deserve a huge round of applause for having structured a wonderful academic event. Indeed, I was fascinated by the theme of the conference, Internet of Things, IT, world scenario. What a fascinating idea. Things as we look at them, things as they appear and things as they really are, have always been the subject of human curiosity and the mean of innovation. This particular international conference is obviously an attempt to build bridges across various branches of knowledge. The conference aims to focus on enabling technologies, social media security, protocols, and multiple application of IT and other technologies. In fact, IT has become so very pervasive and so deeply ingrained in our daily lives that at times we do not feel its presence. No sector of socio-cultural transaction, no human endeavor could ever hope to complete, unstrap itself of the effect and impact of IT. There has always been and shall always remain so a permanent connect between modern social life and the unlimited, rather unprecedented advances in the field of IT. Friends, I have had the honor of adjudicating the Vice Prize nominations twice. The Qatar Foundation at Doha, under the esteemed chairmanship of Her Excellency Sheikha Moza bint Nasser, supports innovative practices in education the world over. They award $500,000 annually to NGOs and educational institutions seriously engaged in generating quality and excellence. The Ministry of MHRD, Government of India too, patronizes such endeavors. Let us hope that institution like Maharashtra College takes the challenge to be part of this great legacy. This college has recently faced NAC peer visit. Let us all pray that we get the highest grades. I wish this conference a grand success and I bless all of you. मैं कहाँ रुकता हूँ अर्शो फर्श की आवाज़ से, मुझको जाना है बहुत ऊंचा आधे परवाज़ से. Thank you and Jai Hind. My friend has to take this flight.